Okay, we are back. This is Her Digital Empire. Today we're going to be talking about courses, but before that, I just wanted to give you a little reminder. If you have not yet already, please subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, soon to be Amazon. But for right now, you can just go to all three and just subscribe. But yeah, besides that, we wanted to talk about courses today because we have been successfully running quite a few courses now for, has it been 2 years?
Oh, yeah.
2 years, which is really awesome. And we've done really well with it. You know, we have a lot of graduates, people who, have taken it and grown from it and grown out of it and moved on to the next thing. And, it's really been a success. So I thought today would be a good idea. It would be a good idea if we talked about, just what it takes to start a course. Lately, I've been seeing even a lot of my junior varsity members launching their own courses and launching their own memberships. And so I thought, well, why not help them with their own to see, if they can also do well with this as well, right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the beginning, right? So it's funny because it was like a super messy situation. So my husband and I, we were living in Connecticut and we had chosen to move back to San Diego, and it was very messy what we were doing. We had my daughter flown out and she stayed before so we could move, and we last minute decided to fly back and ship our dogs, and it was just this crazy situation. We had to dump probably 80% of our things and then choose the most important and ship those as well. And we just wanted to start over. I think it was super important. And so from that, we actually decided we wanted to be able to find our own place in person. So for the first, I think it was 2 months, we stayed with my dad. My dad has a place right a block away from the beach, and we rented a room from him for 2 months. And while it was cool to be by the beach and stuff, it was an absolutely crazy situation. Well, during this time, we decided to launch a membership, a live membership. That being said, not even a completed course. It was a monthly membership that people were watching me actually live edit flyers and marketing materials and things like that. So the crazy thing was that we hadn't created an office or anything yet. We were staying in this room in my dad's place, and it was messy, right?
That's being nice.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's I know. And I have my own thing too when it comes to different excuses and stuff. I always have these little excuses. If I wanted to go to the gym or something, it's but I haven't had my caffeine today, or I have to go to Starbucks, and then it's going to be 10 o'clock and I'm not going to be able to get to the gym. I have my little excuses for some different things too. But for this, I had made the decision to just do the course no matter what, and we launched it. So if you remember, I believe it was just the Facebook group, right?
Yeah. And some of it wasn't even actual design. It was straight up just Facebook
talking
Lives. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we walked to the beach and did some
Yep.
personal development and things like that. Showed a little bit of lifestyle and stuff. It was pretty crazy. So I think would I say that it was successful and to do it that way? I mean, obviously everybody's always better off planning and creating a outline and things like that. I definitely didn't have that, but I think starting is better than not doing anything at all.
Yeah. I actually prefer the messy route.
Yeah.
Because I'm I want to learn from falling on my face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that not everyone's like that, but I just think that failure is the best teacher. And I don't think it necessarily was a failure, but it showed you the stuff that you liked and the stuff that you didn't like.
Yeah. So so we didn't have any type of system. So we only used I think the platforms we were using a video recorder, right?
Yep.
To record the videos. I had spent maybe like I think I got a Black Friday deal on it, and I spent like $70 for the year or something. ScreamFlow is what the name was, ScreamFlow. And then what I did was I recorded, along with ScreamFlow, I recorded Facebook Live in a group. So, yes. And the group was a private group that, the people that were in it were actually paying through, not even a website, a PayPal link that I had created that was basically a monthly subscription link, right?
Yep.
And that allowed them to be in the group, and when they canceled, they were removed from the group, and that was what it was, because it was live. So if you weren't paying anymore, then it didn't make sense for you to be in the group. So we actually had like a lot of people join all at once. It was really kind of overwhelming how many people were interested in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was much bigger, much quicker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was just, as much as it was like like last minute and like, messy, it was also really successful for some reason.
Right.
So then we eventually, grew up, and we found a platform called Cartra. Cartra was absolutely amazing for us. It was able to give us like a hub. So all my clients were able to do, my customers were able to do, was look at the videos and the trainings in my Facebook group. And the problem with that was it was easily it was easy to share, easy to, there was no like
protection.
Yeah, protection at all. So Cartra really helped with that, because we were able to create a membership platform. So I highly recommend Cartra for any type of course or membership.
And we will, of course, post that in the description below.
Yes. Cartra's amazing. They have like everything. Yeah. While we don't even use like probably 40% of it.
Oh yeah.
Or 60% of it even.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to. It's just a lot.
Right.
But it's amazing, because we were able to make our monthly membership along with a OneTime as well. So the OneTime allowed people to basically like own versus rent my courses, right? Which is great. So that was able to bring in more income as well, which, kind of brings me into my next topic that I want to talk about, which is monthly courses versus one-time courses. So what I'm seeing a lot of is girls who are actually doing the live courses, and they're doing it like on a weekend, like on a Saturday, mm-hmm. and it's a live one-time, let's say like $150 or whatever, for like 8 hours of content. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that sounds great, because if you get like 10 people on that, I mean, you've made a decent amount of money for 1 8-hour period, right? So if it would, in your opinion, like for the one-time, even mm-hmm. our one-time sales, when they come in for just the sale of the course, mm-hmm. what's your opinion? Do you like our monthly courses versus our one-time, or what do you think are like the pros and the cons of each?
That's a good question. It really just depends on like, are you talking about from our point of view or from theirs?
Yeah, I'm just giving them like, so they kind of like, I want my listeners to like, figure out what they want to do.
I would always then prefer, I mean, I obviously have both. Mm-hmm. Some of the top entrepreneurs that we follow even have both. Mm-hmm. But I was just telling one of my friends on our podcast the other day that if I can do something to where I'm making money with like down the road with mm-hmm. like little effort, that's my thing.
Passive.
Yeah. So the membership, if you run a correct membership, they actually sometimes end up running themselves for the most part. Mm-hmm. Courses, of course, like I don't want to miss out on that. And for someone listening, they'd be like, well, why do you need both? There's obvious reasons.
Rent versus own.
Right, exactly. If you have a tax return come in
mm-hmm.
and you're doing okay and you want to go get, like, let's say for your store, Photoshop 101, like I'm the type of person like I want access to that going forward.
Right.
If I run into an issue and I'm cut off from a group, then I don't get access to that training anymore. I can't go back. I can't watch it again. Nothing mm-hmm. like that. So it just depends on. That's why you see people sign up for memberships. You still see people buy courses, and they're all in the same location. So it's like it just mm-hmm. get in where you fit in kind of a thing.
And that's what I like. I like get in where you fit in. I've always been like I've always liked the idea of being Walmart. I like having everything. So I don't want to just be Amazon where you can buy videos and come back to it whenever you want. I also want to be Netflix, right? So I want it all.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, and this is all about based on your work ethic, but in my opinion, do it all. Have it all.
Take up space.
If there's going to be some people who want the monthly, and then there's going to be some people who want to own it. They want to know that it's theirs.
There's even, I mean, when it comes to courses, there's even like Udemy or whatever you want to say. There's even platforms we haven't even touched yet to put courses on that are like Etsy kind of a thing, you know. So it just depends
Teachable.
on. Yeah, exactly. It just depends on what your style is, but in my opinion, always take up space. Always just take up space.
The reason why I am not a big fan of Teachable for me is, or like Udemy, or I don't even know what it's called, Udemy.
I heard Udemy the other day and I was like, what the heck is that?
I like to own my stuff. I like my stuff to be, that's why I go with WordPress always. I go with WordPress over Shopify. It's funny, and not to go like off topic or whatever, but I was just in a group where somebody had said that Shopify shut them down because they didn't support their type of product. That would never happen on
insane.
WordPress. It's insane.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why somebody would put their entire business and their livelihood on a platform that will shut them down.
Or that has the authority to.
Right. It's just scary to me. And that's why I'm pushing so hard, with our personal website. But, that's just scary to me. So for me, it's like, I don't know if I would want my stuff on Teachable. It's, that's why I wouldn't just do Teachable. It wouldn't be just Teachable. It would be Teachable, and it would be my website, and it would be
space.
Yeah, exactly. Take up space, own space. So what you were saying, I mean, in my opinion, and it also too, I think it depends on your personality. If I knew that I was making $1,000 or whatever, or $2,000 or whatever for a live 8-hour whatever, I would be excited that I made that money, but very unexcited that I now have to talk for 8 hours. And then who knows what would happen during that time,
Technical issues.
That's
what you ran into with Facebook Live.
Yeah, technical issues all the time. You have to make up for it. Some people want refunds because they want a perfect situation. There's a lot of things that come up. Now, if that's something that you can handle and that you're good at and your personality is good at, absolutely go for it. But you don't want to have too much risk, I think. So, and then speaking of that, when it comes to different courses, live versus already completed, right? So as I was talking about, I learned that I actually benefited more, and I think my students benefited more with me pre-recording rather than doing live, because I had so many people who for some reason there was issues with live. Things got blurry for 5 minutes.
Visuals, yeah.
If you're not spending and I was spending top notch. I was spending a lot of money on different products that were top notch.
Sure.
I mean, even right now I do, and we still have issues. And this is funny because it's funny when you're talking about live versus something that you can edit later and correct later and stuff like that. Even when it comes to like websites and things, you can spend all the money in the world and that website can still not function properly, and it could bomb a sale, or it could bomb something that was live, which is why live is very stressful. It's very scary. You want a team. You want to make sure that it's all ready to go. You don't want to be doing it all by yourself. So that's just my opinion. I'm sure there's somebody who disagrees with me. But, in my opinion, if you are somebody who wants to have very happy people, just make something that's already completed, already done. Just avoid the live thing. Keep the live for free stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Content.
Like, it's Wednesday. I got something to say. I'm jumping on
live.
there. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just my opinion, though. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about like promotion. So you have your course. You said, okay, Erica and Jesse, I did it. I pre-recorded it. I've got it all up on Cartra. I did it. I recorded with ScreenFlow. I followed your instructions completely. How the heck am I supposed to make my money back? In your opinion, what do you think it took for us to have a successful, launch, even though we had so many things that were just not perfect?
Oh, I think that this is going to probably not be the right answer necessarily, the answer anybody wants to hear, but I think having success in what you're teaching is was very helpful. You were at the time, not so much now, but you were hustling in Facebook groups.
Yes.
And everybody kind of knew you were like this up and coming design store.
Yeah.
So you kind of built that clout.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you were like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, I also want to like show you guys how to do what I'm doing. And I think that transition was really powerful. I mean, we weren't running Facebook ads.
Did we throw them in a mail list?
Yes. We built an email list. You had Boss Babe University.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had like a lead magnet.
Yeah.
And then
we
would, because Cartra also allows you to send out emails, like bulk emails. And so of course we would do some announcements and anything you do worth doing online, you should have an email list. Anybody that tells you that's outdated doesn't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be trusting them. But but I would say even over the email list, the email list was really good for like when new courses would come out. But I think that nothing was bigger than having the access to like Facebook groups, but not just Facebook groups that have already seen you do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like they knew you were somebody that they should be listening to because you were the designer. You were the...
Yeah, it was like the pre-promotion.
Yeah.
The third party.
Exactly.
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 So then let's say if this person doesn't have that much of that.
I would actually suggest to do what you're doing now, which you kind of did it backwards because like you just kind of fell into like a weird situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where you started designing. It was like you kind of caught the boom, of the
I think I did,
the hair, nail, lash industry. Obviously you're in all sorts of different industries now, but like you kind of caught the timing. I actually think another great route is what you're doing now, and that's just throwing out free content on YouTube. I just think that's everybody likes to get free, so that's a good way to prove, hey, listen, Susie, Erica, Bob, whoever knows what they're talking about.
If I'm gonna spend $150 on this,
Right.
I want to know that the person that is doing this, not I don't want to just see. Let's say this is design related, right? And I want to learn design from you, and I'm gonna spend $150 for 6 hours with you. I want to know. I don't want to just know that you know how to do flyers. I want to know that you know how to teach.
Exactly.
I want to not be annoyed by your voice because I'm going to be sitting here for 6 hours listening to you talk, right? So little previews, little tidbits.
That's, oh my gosh, you just hit it out of the park because like sports, I'm a sports fan. Well, just because you know how to play basketball doesn't mean you know how to coach basketball.
Totally.
Right? So even you, it wasn't even really enough that you knew design. Mm-hmm. Like you had to show that you could teach it, and you were coming out with free stuff in the beginning too. But it was for your Facebook group. Mm-hmm. So like you had a free Facebook group to kind of like an incubator,
mm-hmm.
Like as far as leads go.
I did a lot of testing,
right?
Because I was so just like, oh my gosh, I want to know that I'm going to have people,
right?
And rather than put something out there, have no sales, and then try to get it in a few months, and everybody knows that there was nobody there.
Right.
I definitely wanted to test, so I tested, and I think offering something for free would be a great test to promote. And if you can take those people that are now getting that free stuff, if you just tell them at the end there's some kind of whatever,
mm-hmm.
join my email list so that when I'm going to be offering the whole rest of, let's say in the free training you teach them how to design a flyer, and then instead for the 8 hours they want to know or you teach them how to do the entire matching marketing kit. Okay, so you learned how to do the flyer, that's great. Now for 8 hours I'm teaching you how to do the entire marketing kit for $150, lock in your spot.
Great idea.
It's going to be going up to $200 next weekend, so by Friday I'm going to give you till payday. Blah, 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 right?
Great idea.
That would be very, very good. That's what I would do, I think, if I had to start over.
And this is, of course, without ads. I mean, you don't...
This is without ads.
You don't even have to... I mean, obviously, when you get to a certain point, ads are great. But this is, if you're balling on a budget, as they say, mm-hmm. This is a great idea.
Well, ads isn't even the best idea, we're learning, if you don't really have that foundation.
Exactly.
Because you need kind of a little bit of views and stuff coming to your website.
Yep, true.
Right?
True.
For that pixel to work correctly.
True.
So I really don't know. We hire people, so I really don't know a lot about that. But yeah, so, promotion obviously is the most important thing, I think, out of anything. But you don't want to just scream down people's throats. You want to offer them something, right? It's always about offering somebody something. When you walk in Bath and Body Works, you're able to test out everything. You know exactly what you're smelling, and you like that smell. You want your whole house to smell like that candle or that, diffuser, and so then you buy the whole thing. Now you know your smell. Now you just buy you don't even need to smell anymore. You come in for the smell, right? It's the same thing. And then last minute, I wanted to talk about really because this is something that people always it either chokes them up where they say, okay, I just can't do that because I'm barely living as it is or whatever.
The big I word.
Yes. Or they, go over the top.
Yeah.
They spend way too much and they're so backwards that it just wasn't successful.
Yep.
And it's investment. So in the beginning, we actually, like I said, we did the bare minimum. I was cheap. When I first started my business, I would fight Jesse on the smallest things because I was just very big on ROI, and I've always been like that. And so I remember even waiting until Black Friday to get my software. I got ScreenFlow for a really good deal, and I think that was it. Did we get anything else? Did we get a mic or did we not?
No,
we didn't. No. It was just ScreenFlow?
Yeah, you were actually rocking ScreenFlow, no mic, no headphones. I think kind of a junker MacBook.
Oh yeah.
That was like
it was an old MacBook.
Yeah, had a lot of problems. And ScreenFlow was an investment though.
It was an investment.
And we still use it today.
We still use it. Yeah. It's a really good product. I wouldn't tell you. I would say that's probably the number one thing that you should probably get. The cool thing about ScreenFlow too, did you know that you can record on your phone and it records it, or your iPad on ScreenFlow? We don't even use that.
No, I think I actually did hear that, but yeah, I haven't used that.
I have been trying to think for the longest time, what can I do to record on my phone so I can start recording on my phone with ScreenFlow, because it's a cool thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, so ScreenFlow I think is like the basics, and then of course, what's the mic that we use?
Oh, the Yeti.
Oh, my brother. We borrowed my brother's Yeti.
That's true. And then we ended up getting our own. And
there's a Yeti Mini.
And we can actually post a link for, if you were interested in getting a Yeti, we can actually post a link for that as well.
Totally. So I did have a microphone. That's important. I did, look through my sources to see what I could get. But, again, if you're really invested in this, I'm thinking for something really to make it something really successful, I think $200 invested, $300 at the most.
I would say about 300. Yeah.
Yes, and then just when it comes to making your money back, you just want to try and make your money back in the first 2 people. If you're doing a big.
And the other thing I would say too is any one of these industries, there's going to be a lot of people doing similar things that you're doing.
Yes.
So if you're asking do I need it? Can I just do Facebook Live and just start there? You absolutely can, but you're battling against other people who are doing the exact same thing. Sound, clarity, all that, it really does matter when people are sitting down and they're saying, do I want to give this person my money?
If I had to give you my honest opinion of Facebook Live, if you are going to be doing any type of design related, if it's just you in front of a camera, I think you can probably get away with it. If it's design related and they're on Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator or something like that, you're going to want a clear visual. So I would avoid Facebook Live. It's just, I would get ScreenFlow.
Definitely.
That would be definitely the number one thing I would do. But yeah, so awesome. So absolutely, if you've been thinking about courses, I think that's something that you should be doing. I think that it's a great way to make passive income. It's a great way to put yourself out there as an educator. Even right now with coronavirus and everything, you can't have live seminars. So it's a great way to do live seminars, live courses. It's a great way to make passive income. And again, we just put this stuff out here because we are so interested in helping you, get out of the 9 to 5, we are, very passionate about helping designers up their game and become successful. And that is why I have made Her Digital Empire. But yes, if you are interested in seeing courses of mine, you can definitely go to Her Digital Empire /courses. That will show you a library of all my courses, and of course my number one course, which is Her Digital Empire Junior Varsity. It's only $20 a month. It's basically a library of courses. I put in 1 to 2 new courses a month. And
there's so many.
It's gonna teach you everything that you need to know. And I like to double up on things. I like to make several Halloween options, several Christmas options, and we've got Black Friday coming. We've got Halloween coming, we've got Christmas coming. This is like the perfect time to join Junior Varsity. It's only $20 a month. I did that specifically because I wanted it to be affordable. I want it to be like Netflix for you, where you just don't have to think about it, and you can have something positive in your life that is teaching you new things every day. So with that, I am going to close out this podcast. I will see you on the next one, and hopefully I'll see you within Junior Varsity.
Peace.